How can a newborn survive in a world where the air can freeze skin in seconds, and the sea itself is locked beneath thick ice? Across the frozen ocean, the wind cuts like a blade, and the temperature falls far below zero, turning every breath into a cloud of frost. For most living creatures, this would be an impossible place to begin life. Yet every year, on the silent white surface of the Arctic Ocean, tiny lives appear against all odds. Hidden among the shifting ice, mothers prepare for one of nature's most dangerous moments. But how can a baby survive its first breath when the world around it is colder than -25 degrees Celsius? Today, we explore the life of the Arctic seal. Long before a pup is born, the story begins deep beneath the frozen sea. During the dark months of winter, adult seals move through the icy waters below the Arctic ice pack. The ocean here may look frozen and lifeless from above, but underneath the ice is a hidden world filled with movement. Small fish swim through narrow channels, shrimp-like creatures drift in the cold currents, and seals glide silently through the water in search of food. These animals have thick layers of fat called blubber that protect them from the freezing ocean. This insulation allows them to swim comfortably in water that is colder than most humans could survive for even a few minutes. As winter deepens, female seals begin preparing for one of the most important moments of their lives. Inside their bodies, new life is developing. Months earlier, mating took place in the icy waters. Now the growing pup must be protected until the perfect moment arrives. Timing is everything in the Arctic. If a pup is born too early, the brutal cold may kill it. If it is born too late, the melting ice could separate the mother from the newborn before it learns to swim. Nature has shaped these animals over thousands of years to give birth during a very narrow window when the ice is stable, but spring is slowly approaching. When the time draws near, the pregnant seal searches for a safe place on the ice. This is not an easy task. The Arctic sea ice is constantly moving. Huge plates of frozen ocean crash into each other, forming ridges and cracks that stretch for kilometers. Storms can break the ice apart in hours. The mother must find a thick, stable sheet where her pup will have time to grow strong before entering the water. Once she chooses a location, she climbs slowly onto the ice. For a creature built for swimming, moving on land is awkward and slow. Yet this dangerous journey is necessary for the survival of her baby. Soon, the moment arrives. In the open air of the frozen Arctic, surrounded by endless white ice and a sky filled with cold wind, the seal gives birth. The newborn pup emerges into a world that feels impossibly harsh. Temperatures may be as low as -25 degrees Celsius, and the icy wind can push the chill even lower. But the pup is born with a special advantage. Its body is covered in a thick, soft white fur called lanugo. This fur traps warm air close to the skin and protects the newborn from the deadly cold. Without this natural coat, the pup would not survive its first hour on the ice. For the first few moments of life, the pup lies still beside its mother. Its small body is only about a meter long and weighs around 10 kilograms. Compared to the powerful adult seal, it looks tiny and fragile. But nature has given the newborn powerful instincts. Within minutes, it begins to move, lifting its head and searching for warmth. The mother stays close, guarding the pup from the freezing wind and the dangers that lurk nearby. Her presence provides both heat and protection during these critical first hours. The bond between mother and pup forms almost instantly. The mother uses her nose and voice to recognize her baby. In the vast Arctic, where many seals may give birth on the same ice field, this recognition is essential. If the pup wanders too far, it could become lost among other seals. The mother produces a series of soft calls, and the pup quickly learns to recognize this sound. This simple communication will guide the pup back to safety whenever danger approaches. Food is the next challenge. The newborn pup must grow quickly if it is going to survive the harsh Arctic environment. The mother produces extremely rich milk filled with fat and nutrients. Seal milk is among the richest in the animal kingdom, containing more than 40% fat. This powerful source of energy allows the pup to gain weight at an incredible speed. Each day, the young seal drinks large amounts of milk while resting safely on the ice beside its mother. During these early days, the pup spends most of its time sleeping. This rest is not laziness, it is survival. The body uses this quiet time to build layers of fat beneath the skin. This growing layer of blubber will soon replace the soft white fur as the pup's main protection against the cold ocean water. Every hour of feeding and resting is preparing the young seal for the next stage of its life. But the Arctic ice is never completely safe. While the pup grows, dangers slowly gather around the ice field. High above, large birds circle in the freezing air, watching the newborn animals below. In the distance, massive predators roam across the frozen sea, guided by an extraordinary sense of smell. For the young pup, the peaceful days of feeding and sleeping will not last forever. Soon, the pup must begin learning the skills that will decide its future. It will need to understand the ice, the sea beneath it, and the dangers that come from both land and water. Every moment on the ice is part of a short but intense childhood where survival lessons arrive quickly. In this frozen nursery of the Arctic Ocean, the tiny seal pup is growing stronger each day, preparing for the moment when it must finally face the icy sea for the first time. As the days pass, the tiny pup begins to change. The thick white fur that once protected it on the ice slowly becomes less useful as its body grows stronger beneath the surface. Hidden under the skin, a new shield is forming, a thick layer of blubber. This fat will soon become the pup's most important protection against the freezing ocean. Every feeding session with its mother adds more energy to the pup's growing body. In just a few short weeks, the young seal can double its weight, transforming from a fragile newborn into a powerful survivor built for the Arctic. The mother continues to stay close during this critical time. She leaves the pup only for short periods to slip into the freezing water and hunt for food. Beneath the ice, she moves with incredible speed and grace, chasing fish through narrow underwater tunnels and breathing through small holes in the ice. These breathing holes are life-saving gateways between the ocean and the frozen surface. Seals memorize the location of dozens of these holes, allowing them to escape predators and return quickly to their pups waiting above. While the mother hunts, the pup waits alone on the ice. At first, it simply rests and conserves energy, but curiosity slowly begins to take over. The young seal starts lifting its head, observing the endless white world around it. The Arctic may seem silent, but it is full of hidden activity. The ice creaks and groans as it slowly shifts across the ocean. Snow blows across the surface in soft clouds, and sometimes, distant shapes move slowly across the frozen horizon. One of the greatest dangers comes from above. Large Arctic birds patrol the ice fields, searching for weak or unattended pups. A newborn seal cannot defend itself against such threats. Its best defense is to remain still, blending into the snowy landscape with its white coat. From a distance, the pup looks almost like a small mound of snow. This natural camouflage can make the difference between life and death during these early weeks. But the sky is not the only place danger can appear. Far more powerful predators roam across the frozen ocean. The most feared of them all is the polar bear. With an extraordinary sense of smell, a polar bear can detect a seal pup from more than a kilometer away. When the bear begins its slow, silent approach, the entire ice field becomes a hunting ground. The mother seal must stay alert, constantly scanning the horizon for movement. If danger appears, she may guide her pup toward the nearest breathing hole in the ice. For the young seal, these breathing holes are mysterious openings in the frozen world. Beneath them lies the dark, icy ocean where its species truly belongs. At first, the pup does not understand their importance. The water below seems frightening and unknown, but slowly, instinct begins to guide its behavior. The pup crawls closer to the hole, sniffing the cold air rising from below. It may even peer into the black water, watching bubbles and faint movements beneath the ice. During the third or fourth week of life, the pup's body is strong enough to begin its first swimming attempts. This moment marks a major turning point. Until now, the ice has been its entire world. But the Arctic seal is not meant to live on land. Its true home lies beneath the frozen surface of the sea. When the time finally comes, the mother gently encourages the pup toward the breathing hole. The first contact with the icy water is shocking. The temperature of the Arctic Ocean can be close to freezing, often around -1.8 degrees Celsius. For most animals, such water would quickly drain body heat. But the pup's growing blubber layer now begins to do its job. The fat beneath the skin acts like insulation, slowing the loss of heat. The young seal paddles awkwardly at first, using its flippers to stay afloat. Swimming does not come perfectly at the beginning. The pup splashes and struggles, learning how to control its movements in the water. But seals are born with powerful instincts for swimming. Within a short time, the pup begins to glide more smoothly through the water, copying the movements of its mother. She stays close, guiding the young seal through its first underwater experiences. These early swims are short but important. The pup learns how to hold its breath while diving beneath the ice. Even at a young age, seals can stay underwater for several minutes. Their bodies are specially designed for diving. Blood carries large amounts of oxygen, and the heart rate can slow down to conserve energy while underwater. These abilities will become essential as the pup grows into an adult hunter. Between swimming lessons, the pup still returns to the ice to rest and feed, but the peaceful routine of nursing will not last much longer. Unlike many animals, seal mothers raise their pups for only a short time. After several weeks of intense feeding, the mother's job is nearly complete. The pup has gained enough weight and strength to survive on its own. Then, one day, the mother simply leaves. For the young seal, this sudden independence is one of the most challenging moments of its life. The ice that once felt safe now feels enormous and empty. The pup must begin exploring the ocean without the constant protection of its mother. Hunger soon becomes the strongest motivation. Milk is no longer available. If the young seal wants to survive, it must learn to hunt. At first, the pup searches the shallow waters beneath the ice, chasing small fish and tiny crustaceans. These early hunts are clumsy. Fish dart away quickly, disappearing into dark cracks beneath the ice sheets. But every attempt teaches the young seal something new. Gradually, its swimming becomes faster, its dives deeper, and its hunting instincts sharper. The Arctic Ocean is a difficult place for any young predator. Food can be scattered across huge distances, and storms can change the ice landscape overnight. Sometimes the young seal must travel long distances beneath the ice, searching for new feeding grounds. Along the way, it begins to understand the complex maze of tunnels, breathing holes, and shifting ice plates that make up its frozen world. Weeks turn into months, and the once fragile pup slowly transforms into a confident young seal. Its white baby fur eventually sheds, replaced by a darker, waterproof coat better suited for life in the ocean. Beneath this coat, the blubber layer continues to grow thicker, giving the seal the energy it needs to survive the long Arctic winters. But survival in the Arctic is never guaranteed. Even as the young seal becomes a skilled swimmer and hunter, the frozen ocean remains full of hidden threats. Powerful predators still patrol the ice, storms can break apart entire ice fields, and the freezing waters demand constant strength and endurance. The young seal has survived its first fragile weeks of life. It has learned to swim, hunt, and navigate the frozen ocean beneath the ice. Yet the greatest tests of its life are still waiting ahead in the vast and unforgiving Arctic world. Months pass, and the young seal grows into a powerful hunter of the frozen sea. What was once a fragile pup resting helplessly on the ice is now a sleek swimmer built perfectly for life in the Arctic. Its body has become rounder and stronger, wrapped in a thick layer of blubber that protects it from the deadly cold. The dark, waterproof fur covering its skin helps reduce heat loss while gliding through the icy water. Every feature of its body now serves a single purpose: survival in one of the harshest environments on Earth. With experience, the seal's hunting skills become sharper. Beneath the Arctic ice, the ocean is full of hidden pathways and shifting shadows. Fish move through narrow tunnels formed by the uneven underside of the ice. Small shrimp-like creatures drift through the cold currents. The seal moves silently through this underwater maze, using its sensitive whiskers to detect tiny vibrations in the water. Even in the darkness beneath thick ice, these whiskers allow the seal to sense the movement of prey nearby. The seal's dives grow deeper and longer with time. At first, it could remain underwater for only a few minutes, but as its body matures, its lungs, muscles, and blood supply adapt for longer dives. Some Arctic seals can stay underwater for more than 20 minutes while searching for food. During these dives, the seal's heart slows down to conserve oxygen, and blood is directed toward the brain and vital organs. This natural diving system allows the animal to explore deep parts of the ocean where food may be more abundant. Life in the Arctic follows the rhythm of the seasons. During the long winter months, darkness covers the frozen ocean for many hours each day. Temperatures fall far below zero, and storms sweep across the ice fields. For the seal, this is a time of endurance. Hunting becomes more difficult, and breathing holes in the ice can freeze over quickly. The seal must constantly maintain these holes by scraping away thin layers of ice with its strong claws. Without access to open air, even the best swimmer cannot survive. But winter also brings opportunity. Many fish species gather beneath the ice during this time, and the seal can take advantage of these seasonal movements. With patience and skill, It hunts beneath the frozen surface, storing energy in its thick blubber. This stored fat becomes a life-saving reserve when food becomes scarce. As the seal grows older, it reaches full adulthood. Now it is not only a hunter, but also part of the next generation of Arctic life. During late winter and early spring, adult seals gather in certain areas of the ice-covered ocean. Beneath the frozen surface, the seals communicate through low underwater calls and movements. This is the time when new life begins again, repeating the ancient cycle that has existed for thousands of years. A female seal that survives to adulthood may soon carry a new pup inside her body. Just as her own mother once did, she will search for stable sea ice where her pup can be born safely. Months later, she will climb onto the frozen surface of the Arctic Ocean and give birth to a small white pup, beginning the life story all over again. But life in the Arctic is never easy, even for a fully grown seal. The ocean remains filled with powerful predators. The polar bear continues to be one of the seal's greatest threats. From the surface of the ice, a polar bear waits silently beside breathing holes, sometimes for hours, hoping a seal will appear for air. The moment a seal surfaces, the bear may strike with incredible speed. Only quick reflexes and careful awareness allow the seal to escape these deadly encounters. In the water, danger can also appear without warning. Large predators such as orcas sometimes enter Arctic waters during certain seasons. These powerful hunters work together, surrounding seals and cutting off escape routes beneath the ice. When such predators arrive, seals must rely on their knowledge of the ice maze, slipping through narrow channels that larger animals cannot easily follow. Year after year, the seal continues its life in this frozen world. It hunts, travels, rests on drifting ice, and returns to the sea again and again. The Arctic ice is never still. Massive ice sheets move across the ocean, sometimes carrying seals hundreds of kilometers from where they first began their journey. Storms reshape the frozen landscape, opening new cracks and closing old breathing holes. Yet the seal adapts to these constant changes, guided by instinct and experience. As time passes, the seal's body slowly begins to show signs of age. Hunting may become slightly slower, and long dives require more effort. Younger seals move faster through the water, chasing fish with the strength of youth. For an aging seal, survival becomes a careful balance of conserving energy and finding enough food. Eventually, after many seasons of hunting and surviving the Arctic storms, the seal's life begins to slow. The frozen ocean that once felt like an endless playground becomes a place of quiet endurance. Yet even in old age, the seal continues to follow the rhythms of the sea, diving beneath the ice, breathing through familiar holes, and resting on drifting ice sheets under the pale Arctic sky. One day, like every creature in the wild, the seal's long journey will come to an end. Its body will return to the great Arctic ecosystem that supported it throughout its life. In the natural world, nothing is wasted. Even in death, the seal becomes part of the delicate balance that keeps the frozen ocean alive. But the story of the Arctic seal does not truly end there. Each spring, as the temperature begins to rise and sunlight returns to the polar sky, new seal pups appear once again on the frozen sea. Tiny white bodies lie beside their mothers, breathing their first cold Arctic air. The cycle continues, just as it has for countless generations. In a place where temperatures can fall below -25 degrees Celsius and survival seems almost impossible, life still finds a way. Through instinct, adaptation, and resilience, Arctic seals continue their quiet struggle on the ice-covered seas. Their story is a reminder that even in the coldest corners of our planet, nature's determination to survive remains stronger than the frozen world itself.